This is the fixture I used to balance the wings. What I did was I took a fairly square piece of wood and then mounted a square, made some brackets, make that square, set them a 1/2 meter apart, put this one in there, then I bolted the aluminum onto those, and then I set the wing to the distance I wanted, and then tightened up the set screw so that these brackets were square, and there's a little bit of a gap here so that it could pivot even or nicely. And then just measured with a tape measure from the floor to this gap here, or this little notch, and then from the floor to this notch, and adjusted this weight until they were equal, and checked it on the other side to make sure that was okay as well. And then I call the blade balanced. Another thing I can do is I can tweak this and see how fast it oscillates. So if I look at it from the side and then just let it go, can take a look in video and see how many frames it takes to go from one extreme and then go back. So that would be the period of oscillation for that pendulum. So I did that in a previous video and looked at it frame by frame. So just to see what it should be. This is operating in 1G environment, and if you're rotating, you can calculate the centrifugal acceleration. It's r omega squared. So 1G is 9.81 meters per second squared. Our radius is 0.65 meters. You can figure out what the omega is. It's 5.49 radians per second, and you can convert that to 0.874 revolutions per second. And if you invert that, you get 1.14 seconds per revolution. So that's the time it takes for the turbine, or when the turbine is going at that rate where it's 1.14 seconds for a revolution, it's generating 1G of acceleration. And just as kind of a rule of thumb, I've been thinking that it should be about half that my period should be about half that. And so if you look at the pendulum, it should have a 0.57 second oscillation. So I looked at the video and found that there are 23 frames for an oscillation, and they're 1/30th of a second per frame, so it worked out to be 0.77 seconds for the period, and so it's a little bit slow. It takes longer than what I'd like. So I have a feeling that we're running somewhat close to resonance, and it might not be tracking the angle as well as it should. So something you can do about that is you can make the turbine bigger. Otherwise, you'd have to tweak the design of the pendulum somehow. But anyway, that's one thing to look out for.